Miami FC just tweeted out, "It's Open Cup match day. Inter Miami travels to the 305 for our matchup at FIU Stadium." Travels to the 305. Oh, please win. Please win this game.
Witty, does this? How do you experience this? Do you experience that neutrally when he's like going at you with "Please win this game, please embarrass Witty's paycheck"?
No. I'm neutral tonight. I work for the television broadcast of this event, so I'm approaching it. And look, honestly, if there is a bias in sometimes in these events, it's towards closer games. It's towards maybe even the potential of an upset. The upset is always, I've called a few cup sets before. They're fantastic to call. So I'm just hoping that this game is close and competitive tonight.
Can our listeners support you tonight and listen to you squirm and discomfort if there is indeed shame and embarrassment, and you have to slalom course it by saying things like climbing up the cellar, climbing up the walls of the cellar, or dressing it up however it is you have to be saying, "My team stinks and I'm compromised by my paycheck"?
Yeah, you can do so. I'm actually calling 2 games tonight in the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup. I am calling Miami FC and Inter Miami, 7 o'clock kickoff on ESPN+, and then I hop on a bird and head on over to San Jose, where I'll be calling the 10:30 game between San Jose Earthquakes and Bay Cities FC. Wow. Classic local games in the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup.
There's no chance you say penis on ESPN+.
Well, I said penis on over-the-air Univision, so I would argue that that was probably a bigger platform.
Univision's different.
What do you mean Univision's different?
Yeah, it's ESPN.
It's over the air.
Nah, it's different.
ESPN Plus.
Well, now you will and you must, correct? Now, if something happens tonight that results...
I'm hoping that nothing happens tonight.
I know, but if it does...
This department.
It's soccer. Nothing will happen.
Well, you're always hoping that...
I'm not neutral. You can go fuck yourself.
Oh, Jesus. That escalated quickly. Good God. Oh, my God. He really unbuttoned his tie there, took off his blazer, and let it fly. Old repressed Wittyngham, unwilling to tell you that the team stinks, and it risks great shame tonight.
I'm taking the 0-0 draw, man. Taking a 0-0.
Happy 31st birthday to Kelly Olynyk.
Happy birthday to him. I don't care. Good luck.
4 years older than Austin Hooper.
He hit a game winner this season for the Pistons, and I'm like, oh, that's sad.
He was having a good year, and he got hurt. Maple Dick. Love that guy.
Yeah.
Gave him $50 million.
I once sat next to him at a Mumford & Sons show.
That's where he permanently is.
Yeah, you're not at all surprised by that.
Juju, Mike loves Maple Dick. Always has. There are the Olynyk years. You will have those here, Mike. Those are when you take your Heat years and you section them off because you are a lifelong fan of this team. Your sports fandom.
Yeah, I'm passionate about the Miami. Crazy passionate.
But this is your greatest allegiance as you spread out.
No, the University of Miami is.
Well, we haven't even talked about the spring game. You were out there. We'll get to that tomorrow, I suppose.
What a waste of time that was. Whew. My God. I went out there and I hung out. I think I might have seen 3 plays. Practice is terrible. Bad football stinks. Like, I'm there Saturday afternoon. I'll go out for a tailgate. I'll be super into the game. But I don't think there's a greater drop-off between competitive football and football that doesn't mean anything. There is no greater drop-off in sports in the level of competition than when you take the stakes out of a football game. Because it is unwatchable.
I left at halftime. And I went to Hard Rock.
And this is your greatest sports allegiance.
Partied with Flostradamus.
Tell me more.
I just went to a pool party. It was on the way because that stadium that they played in is 50 miles away from Hard Rock Casino. It is just so impossibly far. Honestly, I thought overall, not a great day for the University of Miami. Just not a great day. They said that it was a sellout, and that was the emptiest I have ever seen that stadium. And I am a season ticket holder for Inter Miami soccer. I have seen some empty stadiums. That was the emptiest by far I don't know why we said it was a sellout. And internally, the lack of turnout really surprised people because there were legitimate concerns about how they could actually logistically handle a capacity crowd. I'm not sure what happened there. They gave everybody 6 tickets. It was a free event. They gave everybody up to 6 GA tickets that they could claim. I think what ended up happening is everybody took the 6, and most people just didn't end up going. It was very weird. I know it's been banter on college football boards, deservedly so. Bad look all around. The play also was bad. Tyler was flat. The receivers couldn't make a play again for the 5th consecutive year, it feels like. Got to hit the portal hard. Not a good day for the University of Miami. Somehow, Inter Miami came out looking better than Miami did.
Let me, as we talk about organizations and structure and where things have failed in the past, as we begin with the theme today, led by LeBron, of what the Heat have been our entire lifetimes in this market, which is stability no matter what. Kelly Olynyk years. Stability no matter what. A team with relevance. Stakes in most seasons. It is not surprising to me locally that the soccer team would be mismanaged and would be a disaster at every turn. And it's not surprising to me that the first thing that would happen as Miami heads into the new age of college football and reveals itself to a new era of football with the big spring game would be an empty stadium where they thought people were coming. Because why? Because Miami spent this offseason, and allegedly Miami has a fan base that goes back 40 years. But this market makes business hard. This market has always made business hard, and this brand has fallen hard, and you don't repair that by throwing a few tens of millions of dollars at it in one off season and think that structurally you could just fill a stadium in Miami because you used to be the University of Miami.
Here's what happened. It was a free event. People hogged up the GA, and the sides that were in the shade, it's a prefab construction stadium with 4 distinct sides, 2 of which are shaded. It was really hot that day. Nobody took the north and south end sides that were just in blasting sunlight. The side that I was on, if you look up, pretty full. The other side that was also in shade, the east and west stands, pretty full. When you have GA, you're not stuck to an assigned seat. So you won't have optically people patching in some emptier spots of the stadium. Everybody just opted for shade there, and it made for really embarrassing optics.
The optics of nobody's watching our shitty football.
Right, which is not the case. The University of Miami is absolutely big time now. They hired some of the best available coaches that weren't thought available. They're in on every major recruit you can think of pretty much, especially those that are within the region. Mario Cristobal and the University of Miami have figured this thing out, and it's not going to be good for the rest of the state of Florida. It's flatly not, because we care now. We're going to fix this. Also, they're building an F1 track in Miami Gardens, and they were sent to West Palm Beach for their spring game. It wasn't going to be a good turnout.
Miami's gotten in the college football build a big machine game, and you're saying give them a minute to build the big machine. There are going to be hiccups, but the laughter is deserved when you put together a shitty game that has empty stands. Of course, that's going to allow people to make fun of the Miami stereotypes.
I mean, spring games are terrible, no matter where they are. But I also think that, like, the University of Miami fans, not that fans who don't show up, like, deserve credit, but, like, there have been a lot of false dawns for the University of Miami football program. There have been a lot of times
football
where
in general down here.
Right.
When you say our experience with false dons descends from the one true Don Shula. And then after that, all you get is Pat Riley, and everything after that is mercenaries, thieves, and a Jimmy Johnson here and there coming back.
There's a Don Strock also.
Yeah.
That's right. Thank you, Billy. Always advocating for the Golden Panther. There is a Don Strock, but FIU football kind of fell into a ditch there real quick after Mario Cristobal was there.
was that 1 year?
Yeah, there's that game.
That
Marlins
one
Park.
Ron Turner season?
Yeah,
Ron
No,
No,
they
they
game
beat-
at Marlins Park.
beat
I don't know if you
Miami.
guys remember? Yeah.
And they haven't beat a Power 5 team since?
I don't know that they've won a game since.
They haven't-
Mission accomplished.
They haven't
no,
won
they,
a...
no, they have. They've
and-
won a game since.
They won an FBS?
Being silly.
not against an FBS opponent. I thought that was a program-changing victory.
Yeah, then they
for
lost the next
FIU.
week, and then things just kind of
They
fell
hadn't
apart.
beaten a
Yeah.
D1, air quotes for people that don't understand. Like
Yeah.
they haven't beaten a
Mike,
D1
are you
opponent.
rooting tonight for Wittyngham to feel sort of the indignity as a broadcaster of the shame that Billy must have enjoyed you feeling when his FIU team marked your University of Miami team with the single most embarrassing?
that was no, I wouldn't wish that on anyone. That's the single greatest shame in my sporting life. No.
No, but
Chris
Billy,
Wittyngham and I are in the same boat. We both support Inter Miami. He's actually front row with the boat. He's paid by the team to be a broadcaster for them. I am hauling my ass up to every game to places that I would never be in otherwise to watch a subpar soccer team, with the hope that as a founding member of their season ticket program, this club can one day be what they promised they would be 10 years ago. And it feels further and further away as every hearing on a stadium that was voted on and approved like 2.5 years ago the can keeps getting kicked down the road to the point where I'm not sure it's ever going to happen for this team.
Not if Billy Corbin has anything to say about it.
You guys objecting to Billy Corbin saying no more public financing, no more giving away of this prime South Florida land to guys or to people come here and bilk us of our resources. And David Sampson, who's a member of our universe, might be the greatest heister among all of these sports people who come in here and use for business our region. And you guys, Mel Reese is kind of a last hope, is it not? You guys this soccer team came with a lot of hope. Beckham came with a lot of hope. It was a lot of bluster. It was a lot of Moss, again, another Cuban billionaire broker who likes to be in the sports toy game, trying to get land here in Mel Reese.
It's not a last hope. No, it isn't. And I'm surprised Billy Corbin hasn't gone to this because it's been in his back pocket the entire time. Well, they have stadium land. They presently own stadium land. Overtown. It's there for them. It's been an empty lot for them for years. They are just pushing this thing back and making me drive impossibly far. I know where most of their season tickets are based out of. Their supporters section, they're all in Doral. That is so friggin' far from Doral. And they are kicking this can on the road, refusing to move down to Miami because they want this Mel Reese deal because, number one, it's a better location. It's also the real estate deal that Billy Corbin is talking about, and that's where it has merit. But this isn't a fight for the future of soccer in Miami. They have the land. If they don't get this stadium in Mel Reese, they'll just turn around and build the stadium in Overtown, which honestly, the more and more we get removed from this, should have happened years ago.
But what are the stakes on this game tonight? I want to drive audience inexplicably to ESPN Plus.
The manager should lose his job if he loses to Miami FC. Phil Neville, who had the genius idea of not playing Gonzalo Higuain, that might have saved his job. He is really good friends and a former teammate of David Beckham. Because he doesn't have Gonzalo Higuain quite literally clogging up the middle of the field, he can play a brand of football that is more in line with his vision. His vision, I don't know. Sometimes I'm watching this team and I'm like, what is this shape? I have no idea who's playing where. They're very disorganized at times, but that could be just because of Gonzalo Higuain. If he loses to Miami FC, though, and the banner, it'll feel a lot like the University of Miami losing to FIU. It really would. And I really hope that sparks some change where everyone has a come to Jesus moment and realizes that they are a joke locally if they lose this game, and it brings about real change.
And you have no rooting interest on this, Wittyngham. You're not rooting for the entertainment. You're sitting here looking in my face.
And he does not want the team that pays his bills in part to lose this game.
No, but I believe that Wittyngham does a good slaloming between the ethics and the journalism of when he needs to be neutral and when he needs to be a paid employee. And just like you, Mike, as you guys had a podcast that rebelled against Chelsea and doing propaganda, just like your spirit was in that, I believe that Whittingham's spirit will be somewhere within him repressing anything that he is feeling deep inside and just being totally empirically, objectively neutral. I believe you can achieve it, Wittyngham. I believe Wittyngham thinks he can achieve it.
I will achieve it tonight. When I call this game, I will present the facts. I will get excited when Miami FC do things, because that is what you are meant to do when you're calling a game for a neutral broadcaster. I at some point hope to make the leap towards being a network level, and at some point I'm going to be doing Inter Miami games, which I have before, for Univision. And when I do those games, I sometimes get criticized, including by Mike and his cohort of friends, when I call Inter Miami games and I correctly point out that they get red cards. And they blame me for the pandemic. The whole thing, because of one Inter Miami red card that went against them that I correctly pointed out on the air.
Broadcaster switched at halftime. There goes Witty with his anti-Inter Miami bias, trying to set the tone that,
Clearly.
I'm a neutral. And then next thing you know, we're all learning how to make bread.
Is it true, Wittyngham, that you would be willing in some capacity tonight if we found ourselves in a position where Gonzalo Higuain is in
He's out with an injury tonight.
No,
He's picked up a knee injury.
Parenthetically, sucks.
okay, but what I want
Knee injury, unavailable for selection.
but would you be willing, in the spirit of I'm the guy who will boldly go out there and say, when someone has been hitting the penis, I'm not going to say hitting the cockadoodle-doo or any of this other nonsense. I'm going to say hitting the penis because it's anatomically correct. Would you be willing to say for us that this has been a lineup change necessitated by someone being fat? Would you be willing to just say on the air the word fat, not as a judgment, but as a fact?
No, it's not a fact. It's conjecture.
I feel
it's
like
conjecture.
it's a fact.
He has a knee injury. He is unavailable for selection tonight.
Would you be willing to say some people believe?
And it's all,
Many are saying.
he has never been the most fit-looking player when he's compared to other soccer players. I guarantee you, if he took his shirt off around any of us, we'd quickly shut our mouths. That being said, not in the greatest shape right now, unless you were aiming to be round. If that's the case, he's nailing it.
Would you do that then? Aiming to be round? What would you be willing to
No.
say? How? Okay, but around this subject matter, what is the?
I would say
closest to the line.
If you're accurately reporting the facts, there have been fitness issues. As a matter of fact, at times he has been put on a fitness. He was put on a fitness plan last year that was
No.
announced by the club.
What's his name?
Gonzalo Higuain.
Say
Pipita.
Gonzalo has so much soccer in his blood, he's starting to become a soccer ball.
Oh God! I will not be doing that.
Why?
Bloated? You're not willing to
No,
go to
I'm not
any-
calling someone fat on television. When have you ever heard a television broadcaster call someone fat?
all the time. All my entire adult life on television.
You've called people fat?
No,
or?
people have called
yeah,
me
I see,
fat.
yeah.
Barkley does it. Don't you think Barkley's been a successful broadcaster?
He has. He carries this different
This
cachet than I do.
Why?
Jess is working from home today, and she'd correct all this behavior.
Yeah.
We should stop doing this.
Well, I feel like I can run interference for us. I don't understand how I don't buy myself anything from a career, if not for the ability to keep this a safe space where we can mock the heavy athlete, because this is the one place where I have taken enough arrows on behalf of all of us. Mike, it's 20 years of fat jokes.
The story isn't Gonzalo Higuain. He's not playing. It may be part of the story if Inter Miami continued their recent run of good form, because specifically Gonzalo Higuain is not playing. The story today, what we're hoping, if we're real agents of chaos / change, is that the minor league Miami soccer team that actually plays in Miami beats the major league Miami soccer team that actually plays in North Fort Lauderdale, because that would be super embarrassing, and that would change the manager potentially that was trotting out Gonzalo Higuain to play a system that was God knows what, in a shape that was God knows what, and we could actually get closer to being what this was promised to being.
Big stakes tonight on ESPN Plus. If you guys have any ideas for me on
I have an idea.
on what we can get on the broadcast, what we can get Wittyngham to do as a private joke to our audience that doesn't harm Wittyngham in any way, but
Say
also
penis again.
tests
That really works.
tests his neutrality. Billy, what's your idea?
Have I not done enough?
No.
Take your shirt off.
Why
during the
don't you
broadcast.
invite Dan into the booth with you? And then if you're uncomfortable saying certain things, then Dan could say it, like call the guy fat. You know what I mean? Like just pitch like, hey guys, I have a great idea. We have a special guest for this broadcast.
ESPN wouldn't have a problem
The
with that, right?
biggest name in local sports. Let's bring in Dan. Yeah. Have
you ever been to the Cage?
Yeah, have you
Dan,
ever been to the Cage?
No.
You've never been to
You've
the
never
Cage?
been to the Cage?
Have you ever been to the big Cuban flag monument right next
That's
to
a
the Cage?
beautiful monument.
It's
yeah.
about 820 feet tall. It's a giant Cuban flag.
Yeah.
Have you ever been on the double looper at the
At the
Miami-Dade
fair,
Fair?
Yeah, that's not there anymore though.
I no. At the I
What?
have been. I've
You
done
haven't been on the
things
double
at
looper?
the
What
fair.
have you done? I think it's going to be short if you just list the things
Have you
you've
ever been to
done.
Westchester, Dan?
Yeah, what's going on?
I have done the fair things. I haven't.
Huh.
I haven't done the double looper at the fair.
Wow.
It's no
well,
longer
it's
around?
not there anymore.
Oh, no,
no,
the
it's a
fair's
giant
gone.
Ferris wheel. Yeah, and they just packed up the Ferris wheel.
Yeah, it's
Thank
gone.
God. What do you mean, thank God? How am I supposed to get my elephant ears? You never been to the fair.
I have been to the fair.
What'd you do there if you didn't go on the double looper?
Well, I ate some of the fried things, the fried delights.
The
Yeah.
elephant
I
ear?
see it's a turkey leg guy.
Really?
Like a big old turkey leg, Dan.
Ooh, do you ever get the fudge at the fair?
Yeah, the fudge is good.
Love
Inside,
the
right?
fudge. Yeah. Big fudge
I
guy.
haven't been to the fair in quite some time.
I think
Really?
I got COVID at the fair.
You've got COVID everywhere you go.
No, I think I got COVID at the
You
fair. It
gave
was at the
COVID to
petting
the
zoo.
fair.
I think that's what happened.
What?
What is our vetting process on the COVID
None.
for Tony? Because he still doesn't sound right. He hasn't sounded right.
Sinusitis, Dan.
That
it's
is
different.
not what you
Sinusitis.
have.
I don't know if you saw Pat McAfee's
How do
show
you think you
yesterday.
got it? Wait, how do you think you got it from the petting zoo at the fair?
The llamas, there was horse dirt, there was like a lot of stuff that was in my they were milking a cow underneath there that I thought felt wrong. Like people would walk up and milk the cow and it was weird.
It's not how you got COVID.
That's Do you know
Is
anything?
Tony's value to the show so strong that we should all risk the peril of the business by not being able to do our jobs because we need to have Tony's insights so much on this that we're going to risk him getting around what used to be a COVID protocol around here that now is just us sitting in tight quarters with a phlegmy Tony who doesn't have proper paperwork?
And Pat McAfee's show and cell phone video from a Delta Airlines flight that was in air. COVID died yesterday. COVID's over.
I was
Yeah.
talking to someone who was on a flight when that came out and said that the pilot it was Hildy, said that the pilot just came on mid-flight and said, hey guys, you don't need to wear your mask anymore. You can
That
take them
quick?
off if
That
you want.
quick?
Yeah,
COVID's
mid-flight. Yeah.
COVID's over. So,
I guess they...
granted, weird timing that COVID's over on the day that China announced the most deaths from COVID-19 since the whole pandemic began. But, COVID's over now.
probably
So,
milking a lot of cows over there, I guess.
I guess.
How much revisionist history are we going to have to do on the last 2.5 years of some of this being just us making up the rules as we go along with very little leadership
This thing is-
stumbling around?
And this thing is here to stay. I'm so convinced of it. It's going to be an everyday part of our lives. And dancing around celebrating the end of COVID, I think will age very poorly in a couple of months when an all-star is being held out of the NBA Finals.
Wait a
So
minute.
we got to learn how to just
Wait a
manage
minute.
this.
I know what's going on here. I saw the trick, Dan. You wanted to talk about COVID, but we were talking about the Crazy Mouse and the rides at the fair that you have or have not been on. We're not going to lose sight of what we're going. Have you been on Crazy Mouse?
I don't remember the names of the rides. I mean,
Crazy
how
Mouse
long?
is fun.
How much has the fair changed in 20 years, Billy? I don't know. I don't.
Some of
I
the
don't
same exact
remember.
people that were there.
Nothing's
Yeah.
changed.
are still there.
Yeah.
So I don't. I know.
Shaky's
like,
still there.
If you're questioning whether I've ever been to this fair, you can keep asking me questions. But it's
What's your favorite ride? What
it's
do you
a fair,
do?
but I
Do you
don't-
get pop tickets? Please tell me you know what pop tickets are.
I
You know
don't
what pop
remember
tickets are?
any of the phrasing, any of it. I'm not. This is a place I visited 3 or 4 times, and I don't remember the details of whether I rode the teacups or not.
That's
There's
Disney
no
World.
teacups.
That's totally different.
I went to
The
Santa's.
Gravitron.
I went to Santa's a bunch last year.
Really? In Hialeah Park?
Hialeah
Well,
Park,
it's a
yeah.
COVID testing site.
Santa's Enchanted Forest.
Yeah.
No, now it's just a COVID testing site.
Yeah. We should do a live show from the fair next year. Yeah.
Well, Santa's Enchanted Forest is better than the fair.
Well,
is it
it's still currently a site, so we have to go to Hialeah Park, and then we go there. We're gonna see Willie Cheetino because he does all their commercials. And Willie's a talker, I've never spoken to him, but I can only imagine that he'll talk your ear off, Willie Cheetino. Guy hasn't aged a day in 30 years.
Put it on the
So
poll
jet brown hair.
at LeBatard Show.
I've never heard it described as jet brown, but you are
Well,
right
because
on
the thing
money.
is, it's not
Usually
black.
jet
Yeah.
No,
it's
but
like Vanta brown.
Closer to orange, is it not? Is
No.
it's-
It's jet brown's right on the money.
Yeah.
It's jet brown.
It's like Gaga brown, but I don't want to say that. That's rude.
Thank you for not
Vanta
saying it.
caca.
Wouldn't say that. So, man's a legend.
Put it on the poll at LeBatard Show. Is Willie a talker?
Everybody knows Willie's a talker.
Horse
What
country.
are you saying
way.
no about there, Billy?
That's way too far.
That is
out.
too far.
Horse
No, no,
country
no.
is way too far.
No.
That area even has a different name.
It's horse country.
It's horse country.
No, but
Sweetwater?
before you get there, it's a different name.
I have a horse that's staying in horse country.
You have a horse?
You have a horse?
Yeah, you see gas prices?
Yeah,
Got a
that's
horse.
true.
Thanks, Greg.
Save a horse, ride a cowboy. Right? Oh, please.
His list was fine. His
Wittyngham,
list was
it does
fine.
not deserve what you gave it, Wittyngham. He did an old Catskills joke. He did an old lounge comedian on hanging on by the fringes outside of Schenectady.
I'm not laughing at the joke. I'm laughing at the reflexiveness of just hear the word cowboy, say the phrase, save a horse, ride a cowboy. Just having that at the ready.
And I also set up my own you see gas prices fool's collar joke.
Wait, you don't have a horse then?
No, I do have a horse. Well, I didn't buy the horse. My mother-in-law bought the horse.
What's his
Wait,
name?
is this real? You have a
Well,
horse?
that's
Shadowfax?
you are assuming her gender, and I don't appreciate that. Her name is Magnolia.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, she's 9 years old, and they live till 35.
Oh boy.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
We'll see. I don't know. We'll see.
Horses are amazing.
Not
When,
the
of
greatest
years.
track record with pets as of late for the Meckers family.
oh,
Took a
What-
dark turn there.
Pets have you killed?
Already the vets are popping it. I'm a little worried about this. We're just setting ourselves up for heartbreak. But Juliet loves the horse. I've got a tattoo of a horse on my chest, and she thinks it's because it's for Magnolia.
A horse is a responsibility.
There's a lot going on. You have a tattoo of a horse on your
Yeah,
Let's
chest?
see
that's
it. Let's see it. Yeah.
Hmm.
Why do you have
What,
that?
what is it?
It's like a Mustang, like a wild horse.
No, it's actually a pony.
wow, wow.
Yeah, I was called Pony in high school, and one of my favorite albums ever was White Pony by the Deftones, and that's the logo on the album.
Thought you were gonna say because of the Genuine song.
Oh, dude, that used to be my voicemail.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, the
Yeah,
classic.
remember-
They like hold the phone up to
Yeah.
a speaker playing a song, and then, hey, this is
Wow.
Mike. I'll call you right back.
wow. That
Yeah.
used to be my voicemail.
Yeah, if you wanted to leave Mike Ryan Ruiz a voicemail in the year 2002, you had to sit through 2.5 minutes of Genuine's Pony.
Jeez Louise.
That is so you. That is all. That entire story. I can't believe what a reveal. It's an amazing reveal, right up there with Stugotz saying the other day that he named Rachel after the character in Friends, Rachel, just out of nowhere. An amazing reveal for you to tell us that you have a tattoo, that your nickname in high school was Pony. We just glossed right over that.
That's it. That's canon. People know about that.
So Elmer called and said Magnolia might not make it.
Well, no, I got really scared yesterday because someone in the family suffered an injury, and while we were going, actually, this was earlier in the week. This was when we were actually going to the Cessa Cyclones championship victory. As we pulled into the parking lot, my wife gets a call about a broken hip, and Cynthia loses her mind. She's like, "The horse! Oh my God, the horse has a..." and was quickly corrected that it was somebody else. And she wasn't as sad about it.
Oh no.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
no.
Cynthia.
It was just, and the person that broke the hip should technically have far more concern attached to it than a horse we just met.
I thank you for your honesty on this, Mike, because this is something I've felt before when you're watching a sink, like a ship sinking, and there are humans who are swimming around, and then there's a dog or a horse that's also swimming around, and you're like, oh, the
Yeah.
dog or the horse.
Yeah, in the movie Independence Day, the city of Los Angeles is getting destroyed, positively destroyed, families torn up, mankind
This is a great scene.
may get may become extinct by the end of this film. But God damn it, if that golden retriever doesn't find its way into that little nook to avoid the laser blast,
That's right.
because I had far more empathy for the dog in the film.
Then the millions dead.
Yeah.
Animals are pure and perfect.
Well, not cats.
No,
No,
there's some
no.
animals.
Oh my
Billy's an evil
God.
cat. Yeah,
Stop.
Billy's an evil
Are
cat.
assholes.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Wow.
Cats suck.
Evil cats.
Billy's an evil cat.
Yeah, he is.
That was the best thing that happened while I was away the last few weeks. Billy's evil cat comparison is spot on. Whoever came up with that, genius.
I don't
Chef's
like
kiss.
it.
Yeah.
Why, Billy? It's because it's too accurate.
I don't think it's. I'm a dog.
Eh,
Talked about this. I'm a
You are,
dog.
you are not.
that's
a
what an
dog.
evil cat would say.
Yeah, I'm a dog.
No. You're-
Sorry, I'm trying to sign up for jury duty here.
Oh, you got jury duty too?
Yeah. I have a
We're
deadline
doing the
here,
show.
yeah.
We're gonna have the
I
same.
know, but there's a deadline. I have to do it by the
Are you-
19th.
Wait, what do you mean you have to
Oh.
sign up for it? Don't they assign you to
What
it?
if we're on the same jury?
Well, you have to like.
What if it's a Canes booster or something on trial and you guys are on the same
Wow.
jury and it's a
Alright.
hung jury?
I mean,
They wouldn't
Billy's
let you
gonna
be
be
on the
for
jury.
throwing the book at him, regardless. He's like guilty.
Exactly. I don't even need to hear this.
I don't even
They're
need
doing
to
jury
hear
selection and the prosecutor's like, have you ever impersonated a Miami Hurricanes fan for a local radio show named Peepo?
What?
You're excused. You can't be on this jury.
He's
What is
gonna
that
throw the
supposed
book
to
at
mean?
him.
Makes less sense than the cat. What are you talking about?
Old Sparky for you.
Billy, what is jury duty going to be for you? Are you rooting to be selected?
No. God, no.
Can you imagine Billy in a jury deliberation? Whatever jury, if he gets put on one, they are not leaving for 3 months.
No, get out of here. What are you talking about? Why?
Because you can't make up your mind about
Well,
things.
it'd be my civic duty to make sure we got it right.
Yeah.
Yes.
All
Civic
right.
duty.
So that's just one more count.
Speaking
I think by the
Willingham's
time
language.
everyone like comes in with not guilty, they turn to you, Billy. You'd be like,
I think deliberation is like your jam, is it not? Just the very word is something that you're all about. I feel like on a jury you wouldn't quite be Wittyngham in search of great principle. You'd just be there to
Let's just hear everyone out, you know? You don't think?
you're gonna deliberate. You're gonna be deliberating for 3 hours, and that's just what to get for lunch.
Billy has never done anything in his life beyond a reasonable doubt.
I'm confused.
You guys are confusing me. There's lots of things I have to click to sign up for this.
Well, the most difficult part I found was describing where I live in Miami-Dade County. Because I'm in unincorporated Dade, but there isn't an option for it.
There was a comment about that on the Westchester TikTok.
Yeah, it's Westchester is unincorporated.
How is there any section of any major city in America that's unincorporated?
Yeah, what does it mean? It means like the county, you're part of the county, but not part of a city?
Rebels.
I don't get it.
Well, that's how we do in the hood.
Some homeowners, please tell me.
rebels.
That was another funny thing that happened while I was away. The A-Rod.
Yeah, I
scandal.
believe in the hood, Kendall operates by maritime law, basically. If you see something out and no one's presently in it, it's yours.
There was like a local hour, a big SUEY while I was gone, Mike, where you
Like
were
highlight teams.
so funny, and I was like, "This is the funniest thing I've ever heard," and then I forgot what episode it was.
That's
so
a
I
good
never,
story.
I
Thank you
never
for
texted
sharing.
you and
Wow,
told you.
Jessica, you really
It's a
ran out
great-
of gas
great
there.
story.
Thank you. That was so funny.
There
that
was something
one
really
time.
funny that I totally forgot.
Excellent work.
Tony's pizza list really was the only
All right.
thing
Yeah,
that
back to
really
that.
stuck out to me.
I need
I
to.
appreciate your support. Though,
I need
Jess.
to
I'm
Talk
sorry.
stop
about
the
it.
show for a second
Couldn't do it
because
anymore.
we have reached a point of diminished returns when one person who's doing the show with me is busy doing jury duty, and that's the least engaged of the people on the show because the other one is disoriented and dizzy and says things like
What do
that.
you mean?
I cannot wait to be put on the same jury with you because there's no way. Like we should act like we haven't seen each other in the longest time. Just make a show of it. We'll get.
They don't let friends be on jury duty
Why
together.
not? They should.
One of you's gonna get excused.
Well, the thing is, if they turn to Billy and they ask him, "Are you friends with him?" It would be.
It's complicated.
How do you two know each other, by the
We
way?
have an interesting dynamic.
You know what? More jurors should be like Billy though, because you have someone's entire freedom and their life on the line. You should take time and deliberate, and not make snap decisions about whether
Be
or not
deliberate.
someone's guilty or
No,
not
it's-
guilty.
This is not my first rodeo. I've been a jury foreman before. I've had very important.
foreman?
Yeah, I've been a jury foreman.
I'm jealous.
Whittingham wants to be a foreman.
It was
What is the matter?
Just go to police school or something, Witty. God
real.
damn.
Remember that?
Cop, dude.
Remember that Smith and Walensky event that we had with Isaiah Thomas, Stan?
I can't believe Whittingham's real.
Do you remember that event at Smith and Walensky?
Yes.
Where one of the greatest NBA players of all time was just like like hanging around. Spo was at that
Yeah,
one
Spo-
too.
Spo
but that
was
was
there.
before Spo was a star.
Tim Hardaway. No, Spo was the coach then, wasn't he?
Yeah, but we're like, who's this new guy? There's no way he figures it out. Top 15 head coach. But I missed that day's show. I showed up to the event because I was busy helping a man get his freedom. He actually bumped into me because I took the Metro Rail over there. He bumped into me at the Dayland Station elevator, and his girlfriend at the time hit him in the knee and said, "Say thank you," which was cool. And I was like, "Yeah, that cop was lying." I don't like it.
That was a real Miami story there, right in the streets of Miami, growing up next to Spo in the video department.
Yeah, Dayland Station. Have you ever been? Man, when they first opened that thing, it had everything that you could want.
The monorail, you are, this is a form of transportation that I don't believe Jessica has any access
Metro
to.
Rail?
The Metro
I love
Rail.
the Metro Rail, Dan. We love public transportation. That was one thing that happened last week. While I was out, Mike, you were talking about how you have to park in Hallandale Beach for the Miami Grand
F1.
Prix.
I am so pissed about
I mean,
this.
it is so ridiculous that Miami has no public transit options for events like this. At least have like a bus system for the weekend, right? To get some people up so not everyone has to drive there in their own cars.
And I had 2 separate sets of tickets because I thought I was going to flip these for a lot of money, and I could have, but I just did right by my friends. So I had Fountain View Grandstand tickets and Beach Grandstand. Beach Grandstand's closer to Red Bull. I have good relationships with the people at Red Bull, so I wanted to be closer to their area. Fountain View Grandstand, a little bit more expensive. So I sold the Fountain View Grandstand. Parking for each associated grandstand is $150 for one parking spot. But in order to have a tennis center, Dolphins headquarters has moved over there. All the stadium additions that they've made, and now an F1 track, parking is severely limited at Hard Rock Stadium. I bought a parking spot, 2 of them, $150 each. One of them by Walmart, which is pretty far, but walkable. The other one, mind you, same exact price, 6.5 miles away in Hallandale Beach, that I
dear
have
God.
to drag my ass onto a shuttle into more traffic, by the way, to get to the stadium. Ridiculous. Awful. Same price. How does that make any sense?
Because there's no other way to get to a place other than people driving their private cars. Like, we don't have public transportation here that extends to Hard Rock
we
Stadium.
don't,
The
let's,
helipad's going to be like bonkers.
once upon a time, Jessica, this is, Mike, you're old enough to remember this, when they did F1 downtown, when they did it in downtown
It wasn't
Miami.
exactly F1.
It was Grand Prix.
Yeah, it was open wheel racing. I also think that they had one at Tamiami Park. Oh wow. Yeah. Yeah. But back into public transit, this actually made me think about a conversation I was having with Chris Wittyngham, because we hear because Miami all the time, and Billy Corbin just takes out Brightline. And I'm not here for Big Train, but to call it a murder machine when a lot of this is
People stepping in front of trains,
Come on.
people driving across train tracks when the signs are clearly down. They've invested a lot of money in trying to alert people that there's a very fast train coming by, and then you get hit by the train, and like it's
all on the train, and it's no operator error. Instead of calling it murder train, how about Darwin's hand?
Wow.
Dear God.
So about this pizza list,
Thank you, Billy.
But the reason why, there's people movers, and I said that the Metro Rail people mover, I think I'd be okay if I let it run over me.
It goes like 3 miles an hour.
Yeah, I think it would be
Well,
okay.
It has to be the slowest public transport in the world.
don't go down this path, because then Tony was saying he could stand on the track and push it and stop it from moving.
It's actually on wheels, on like real tires. You could just stand there behind it and push it.
No,
You could not do that, Tony.
don't do that.
Don't try
You
this
could
at home,
not
but I
move
think I
the
could
Metro
survive
mover with your bare hands.
Yes, I can.
If it started if coming at me,
With
Right.
people
I
are
could
empty.
just put my hands up and just like push it, and maybe like my heels would go back.
You just
some.
kind of
It
do
weighs
like an
several
angle, right? You just
tons.
kind of angle it and then hold it.
It's a cruddy trolley, is what you're saying. It's not much of a public transport. It's not much of a train. It's a
the people mover.
it is, but it is a bit of a container.
Yeah, and a container where you'll find an occasional shark.
Well,
That was many years ago.
We need more of those containers in Miami. I'm sick of this whole.
Well, but let's
driving
but
thing.
let's talk
Come
about
on.
this for a second. Is
So
F1
we
going to
got
be
Marlins Park.
what you're describing F1, because you're a mover and shaker now, and Metal Media is going to do things at the center of whatever this F1 extravaganza is. What you've described to me now sounds like an enormous pain in the ass. It sounds like something an old person would not want to be around because I have to go 7 miles in traffic in a trolley.
Well, you know what I did? The person that I sold the Fountain View tickets, that I did them a huge favor in giving them face value tickets. I mean, the markup on these in the secondary market, it would have made me a lot of money.
This is the most expensive event in Miami maybe ever.
So I saw what happened with the parking. I was like, trade. This is me calling in that favor. Look, I gave it to you for face value. You're getting the far parking.
You go 7 miles.
You give me a ride.
But you're complaining about parking for an event that makes us these things. Cities are now going to compete for this. This is the trendiest of things. It's the nicest of things to have. If you want to make a big loud noise with a party weekend, this is the sport for you.
Splash.
I know you didn't say it, but it was synonymous. I know someone, I'm really good friends with someone that works in the nightlife industry here in Miami. And I also happen to know someone, I shouldn't say that. But suffice to say, when they do reporting on this, that this is going to be more profitable, this one singular event for the Miami Dolphins, than the entire NFL season is for the Miami Dolphins. And someone in the nightlife industry told me it is guaranteed to be their biggest week of the year. And keep in mind, they have Miami Music Week down here and Art Basel down here. This is going to be the biggest money-making weekend for Miami nightlife.
I'm by the confusing part where you have to say where you reside. It's too, that's not an option.
It's not an option. Kendall isn't an option.
How are municipalities not an option?
Nah, I have to put other, because the only options are Coral Gables, Aventura, Doral/Hialeah, City of Miami, North Dade, South Dade, Miami Beach, Miami Gardens.
What local elections do you vote in?
Maybe South Dade?
I think all of them twice.